For me, Christ has risen up in my life in a really powerful way, and he continues to do so today. One of the biggest struggles that I went through in my life is having a father who was somewhat absent, somewhat present. My father was abusive to my mother. He was abusive towards me. He was on and off homeless. He was an alcoholic. And I think everyone desires to have parents that are whole, parents that are loving and caring and that can really raise you and give you the love that you need. And one thing that I really appreciate from God, and something that I didn't learn until later, is that God could be my father. And that's how I've seen Christ rise up in my life. When I was having doubts about who I am and my identity, whenever I felt like I was a parentless child, there was moments where God showed me that he could be my father, that he could show me the way to go in my life. And it didn't happen until around maybe like 11 years old. I remember I was talking with my dad. We were fighting over something, and I told him, I was like, "You're not my father." And he got really upset at me. But at that moment, it was because my grandma had been teaching me about Jesus, and she was telling me that Jesus is my father. And I remember I just took that and I ran with it, because for me, like, I needed a dad so bad. And I needed someone to fill that role for me. But I didn't just need a dad. And I don't think any of us just need a dad. We all want good dads. And I know some of you maybe that are watching are those good dads. Or maybe you are a person that doesn't necessarily have a father that's present or a mother that's present. Maybe you don't have parents that are able to be a part of your life right now. Maybe you're adopted. But I know that something that we all need is someone to just love us unconditionally and to be able to guide us in our life, to be able to show us the way. And what I really wanted was that. I wanted a father that could show me the way. So when I was around 16 years old, I started to read the Bible. I opened up my Bible and I was like, hey, I want to look into this a little bit more. We had like a children's Bible at my house because my parents were not Christian. And when I opened it up, I was reading through it and I was like, wow, this is really powerful. This is amazing stuff. I didn't know that some of the stories that they were talking about are actually real, like Jonah and stuff like that. Once I started reading it for myself, I realized, like, man, these are powerful stories. But then I got to the portion of Jesus and the Gospels. And when I read those Gospels, I saw a man that I wanted to follow, and that was Jesus Christ. I saw him rise up in my life in a different way. All of a sudden, I started to see transformations going on in my own life that I wasn't even looking for. I wasn't looking for those transformations. I was just trying to live my life. But when I read the story of Jesus, I saw a father that cared about his children so much that he died on the cross for them. That's the kind of sacrifice that he has and the love that he has for us. That's the kind of sacrifice that a parent would give for their child. So when I saw that my father loves me so much that he would give up everything, celestial glory, in order to save me for eternity, my life changed. After that, everything in my life changed, literally. I started to read the Bible all the time. I started praying. I started to go to church, and I was really intentional about listening. I asked my pastor, my youth pastor at the time, praise the Lord for good youth pastors. I asked him if I could preach, and he would let me do the Sabbath school and all of the things that I wanted to do in order to belong in my own family. I started to see belonging in the church because God was my father. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about your relationship with Christ. I don't know if he's ever been someone that you've needed him to be for you. But I can promise you that any void that you feel in your life, anything that you've longed for in your life, whatever kind of desires you have in your heart, Christ can fill it. But not just that, he can make it overflow to the point that you want to share this love with other people. So I hope that you will give Christ a chance in order to rise up into your life and fulfill and overflow to the point that you're like screaming at the mountaintops and saying you have so much joy in your heart because he can fulfill those empty places. So give him a chance. Let Christ rise up into your life.